Hey guys, this is Ryan from rm-sounds.com, and today I'd like to give you a quick tip on how you can use Ableton Live's built-in Arpeggiator as a quick and dirty glitch performance machine. And to demonstrate this, I've got a track here that I've been working on. It's not complete, but it'll do for this example. And in that track, I've got, or in this project, I've got a group called Rhythm, and in that group I have a track called Tech 1, and what this is just a drum rack that contains 5 samples, little short hi-hats and bleeps and bloops and stuff like that. And I've programmed a little pattern. It's pretty repetitive and pretty boring, but we'll sex it up later. So yeah, nothing too special. But what I've done is I've dropped in an arpeggiator, and it is contained in an instrument or a MIDI effect rack. And the only reason I did that was for controlling it with my APC40. It was easier to get the knob as a macro here than to scroll through my pages and find the rate one in the actual arpeggiator. So ignore the effect rack. That's not really necessary. But what an arpeggiator does, for those of you that don't know, is it takes in a set of MIDI notes. It can be a chord. It doesn't have to be, but usually it's a chord. And what it will do is it will take that block chord and convert that into a series of broken notes in different orders. And those are determined by this style here. It could go up, it could go down, it could have a priority over the first note pressed, whatever. And it will jump between them at a rate that you determine right here. And for this example, we're going to work with we're actually going to work with the free mode rate. And what this allows is for us to set a rate at very small increments down in like the 0 to 50 millisecond range, and that'll give us those really glitchy almost pitch notes that come from such short repetitive times. Anyway, let's just quickly play a few notes here just to show you what that sounds like. So if I play, that's a better example there. So I'm just playing one note here. If I turn this on, now to get that sound, I'm just holding down a note on my keyboard, and you can even actually activate this hold button here, which means you won't even have to hold the note down on your keyboard. It'll just keep on playing indefinitely, but I'm just going to turn that off for now. Now if I change that rate knob, which I've actually got mapped out to this macro here, we can hear that nice smooth transition from the slower rates to the quicker rates, which kind of corresponds with a higher pitch. I've got my gate set to 100%, just so it's playing the full note. But if you would like, you can actually bring it down, and you'll get a much choppier sound. Again, it's a little hard to hear on this sample because it's so short to begin with. But had that been a longer sample, you definitely would have heard it chopping it up to a shorter note length. Now, what I've done is I have just set this up with some simple MIDI mappings. It's actually done for me automatically using the APC40, but anybody can set it up with any controller. And all I've done is I've mapped out the device on button as well as the rate knob, and I've actually done it on the MIDI effect rack again, going back to my APC40. But you can just work with the arpeggiator alone, turning it on and off with this button, and automating this rate knob right here. And what you're going to do is basically just hit play and record yourself turning the device on and off. And when it's on, you can also record yourself spinning a knob to screw with your rates here. So I'm just going to do a quick run through and show you what that sounds like. The concept's pretty simple. It's fairly easy to map out parameters to your MIDI controller. If you don't know how to do that, there's plenty of other videos on YouTube that'll show you. But yeah, so let's just give it a shot. Anyway, that's that. Pretty much gives you an idea of what I got going on there. As always, leave any examples of tracks that you may have made using this technique, or any comments you'd like. I'm always active on YouTube. I get all of your comments, so if you have any questions, just leave one on there and I will try and get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks a lot, guys.